Bat Force Radio.
Bat Force Radio is rated M for mature, or should that be immature?
Grumps and Gramps, tons of lasso grumps and gramps. Grumps and Gramps, tons of lasso grumps and gramps. Grumps and Gramps, tons of lasso grumps and gramps.
Welcome back to another episode of Grumps and Gramps. This is a special birthday edition. Somebody had another spin around the sun. Do we say the number?
Yeah. Fuck it, 49.
49. Woohoo! Happy birthday, Grumps.
Thank you.
Nothing's finer than a 49er, I always say.
Yeah. Jesus is trailing me on Friday, right?
Yeah, 48 hours and counting. Yeah, not quite 49, but I'm
you're getting there.
I'm heading north. I'm heading north.
26.
26 plus, yeah, a little.
All right.
A little extra.
Episode 37, Grumps and Gramps, the birthday edition. I'm Gramps from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Grumps from New York.
And with us is our bro, Teases from Dirty Jersey.
There you go.
How you guys been?
It's hot.
Yeah.
Summer's here all of a sudden. Like,
Yeah.
It was super cold. Like last week it was cold. A couple of days ago it was cold. And now it's striking with vengeance. It's muggy. It's good. It's fine. It's July. So
Hot and rainy, right?
yeah, it's raining a lot.
Oh, okay.
It's nuts. The mornings are cold, and then middle of the afternoon it's like 95, and we're dying. Yeah. And then it gets cold again, and then it rained.
And all of a sudden, everyone's watching the air quality because the Canada fires and whatever.
So, yeah, I mean, you guys had to go through all that with all the Canadian wildfire stuff?
We did. We were told that this week the second wave of it was kind of coming, or maybe it was like a little bit of last week, but the first initial wave was pretty aggressive. I mean, you saw the picture of New York City. It looked like a 2012 Instagram filter, like it was orange,
sepia filter.
Yeah, so this time around's not as bad, but it was definitely whether you were inside or outside, you can smell it inside the buildings of wherever you worked. It was permeating everywhere. It's just it smelled like ash everywhere, which is wild. Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So who knows what people are breathing in, like microscopically, like with those fibers and, that ash.
2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Wednesday. It was bad. Like in my office, it was bad. Like I work in a high rise in Midtown Manhattan, right in Times Square, and 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I had a mask on inside the office because it was just it was hard to breathe.
That is insane.
The wildfire went in your DMs and it was like, let me in.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Canada.
Canadians. Oh, I mean, we didn't come here for that, though.
No, we didn't come here for that, but I always like, finding out how things are going on with you guys. I mean, I'm in Texas. It's been over 100 for a couple of days, but I mean, we're just excited whenever it dips below 90 for like a few hours.
One of my exes lives in Texas.
Yeah.
College Station.
So, I mean, with us, you always hear about how it's so humid here. I mean, I don't understand weather and all this stuff, how, humidity is how much the percentage of air, water is in the air and stuff. But when it's got really super high humidity, it makes it feel hotter than what the degrees are. It like adds 5 to 10 degrees. And I mean, you can just walk to your truck and back inside and you're already just busting a sweat. It's insane.
You could just walk to your Thunder tank and you're busting a sweat.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Gramps was outside. You said you were power washing the Thunder tank. You cleaning the rims, having Louis, changing the oil on it.
Yeah. And rotate those tires. Yeah.
There you go.
Speaking of Thundercats, I mean, since you're going to bring it up, I mean, we're going to talk about it.
You're driving straight to the Lair this week.
I mean, yeah. So, like this week, we're recording this on July 5th, also known as National Grump Day.
That's a good one.
National Grump Day. Yeah. I mean, it's when you get to air your grievances and just be grumpy all day.
Yeah.
Super 7 has been teasing us with this reveal of their 1/12 scale Thundercats Lair.
This is the real estate segment of the show.
Lifestyle of the rich and famous.
I mean, okay, so the Thunder tank, it's already, I mean, literally the size of my desk. And this is going to be a 1/12 scale Thundercats Lair.
Yeah.
How much real estate is that going to take up?
The nerve of them. I mean, it's got to be it's got to be 30 inches at least.
Look at this image proportionally. Look at this image. So this is a 6-inch, 7-inch figure.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at, this is like a diorama piece, I'm assuming, like, a front widespread diorama, and the details on the paints, it kind of has like very organic feel. It's not a lot of line work, which is cool. It looks like it's right out of the cartoon. So
yeah,
hopefully it's just a one piece, but I don't see it wrapping around because that's going to take up a lot of space. Yeah.
Multiple levels.
Yeah. Hopefully it's like customizable, especially to where it's geared towards people that want to take photos. So you can kind of move things around, like you don't want things to be just one piece all the time.
Well, what strikes me is that it looks like this big main screen here has LED lights lit up. So I don't know if they're going to be having LEDs in it or...
Yeah, that's very possible. Hopefully they bring in some interest to where you can swap out the front panel. It looks like there's some kind of like push button mechanism where you're kind of pushing down and changing something. So who knows? That's cool.
Yeah, and hopefully the eyes light up, with some LED. And
I'm already thinking in my head, like, is this another $500 piece? $500 minimum. Like, look at all the bells and whistles and the molding, the paint job.
I mean, the tank was what, $450?
Yeah.
And this is now with the tank, though. I think the tank had a little bit more engineering into it, but still.
Yeah, if this is a more of a diorama, well, this whole layer, like, is it transforming again? I'm trying to remember Thundercats again, where.
No, it doesn't transform. It's just the head moves, I think.
But the tank comes out of the base, right?
So will it be just a front view, and then it'll probably be a front view, and the back will have the guts and components of the layer.
Yeah. The back will probably be open.
Right. So it'll be one solid piece, and then
at least 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide, like at least
3 feet tall is monstrous. Hopefully not.
And
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at a Barbie dream house. It's 3 feet tall. And I got 2 of them in my house. It's 3 feet tall, at least 2 feet wide. So
you have a neighborhood. Barbie Drive.
Yeah. And there's a new one on Target. So, but,
so I see what you're doing, man. That's pretty smart. When she outgrows one, you just turn that into Wayne Manor.
Yeah, there you go. Little paint.
Yeah, a little paint.
Cover up the
paint.
pink.
There you go.
But
just a little spray paint,
That's listen, that's these dream houses they're less than 200, and we're already talking more than 500 for that. Whatever cat's lair. So, yeah, it's got to be at least 3 feet tall.
Grumps
I'm looking at it right here.
He's mapping out real estate on where the next dream house is going.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be having
man. I just got this one like a year ago, and they already got the new one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
is it
3 feet tall?
Is this a must-have for you, or how do you feel about it right now? Is it going to be?
Considering I almost got divorced over the Thunder Tank,
sounds like you're gonna have to put that on ice for a little bit. And just happens.
I don't think it's a must-have for me. I mean, do I want it? Of course. Do I need it? No, I don't.
Right.
I don't. But I mean, 6-year-old me is just screaming inside. But yeah, this is. And whoever gets it, I hope you enjoy it. It looks awesome.
Because those figures are, I think they're 7-inch, so like 110 scale.
Yeah.
And looking at Lionel, I mean, he had at least, that floor was at least a foot.
Yeah. And he's sitting down. So you're looking at least 12 inches for one level. So
I just hopped on Super 7's Instagram because I wanted to see if there was any hype for like SDCC, and they are kind of gearing towards Thundercats, but they're also, I guess, they're offering alternate head sculpts for some of these characters, which is, I guess, kind of cool. There's like a 4-pack going on, a super pack, so it's just another add-on, I guess.
Oh, that's with the new line 9 that went out today, or I think that they've released today.
I mean, if the price is right, it gives people an excuse to kind of have a little more expression. But obviously, with these prices, a consumer expects to have 2 or 3 head sculpts. But it's a cool bonus. Obviously, like I think Mezco's been doing that too. They've had these like generic accessory sets, and especially with the skulls. And I think the value is okay. For $25, you get 5 or 6 head sculpts. Gives you some options to do some mashups. So as long as they keep it in that safe space, I don't think anyone's like offended or deflated. So something different.
The problem here is they don't have any figures to offer. Like they kind of shot their load with in terms of the line. Like they can't offer figures as a tier.
Right. Yeah.
Because they've done all the characters. I think now I don't know what wave they're up to, wave 9, and they're sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel, like the end of the cartoon.
Well, I mean, I think how many seasons did the cartoon go? 5 or 6?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It wasn't a very long, long thing. It wasn't like The Simpsons.
Yeah, and another thing too is like in the 80s, a lot of these seasons, even though there's like 5 or 6, you're looking at like a 22 episode season, where nowadays it used to be a little shorter. So you did have 80 episodes, but it was just very long, So
yeah.
But I think that line has probably reached its end in regards to the character curation and the variants. And NECA does well with turtles, but they have all these tertiary characters that have just been in one episode, and it's almost like you got to do a freeze frame and be like, see that guy in the corner?
Yeah.
He's gonna become a figure. It's like,
that's like
I
Star Wars. Star Wars, Hasbro's determined to put every character that fits on the
feel like
screen.
a lot of these brands, a lot of these brands are reaching Gear 5 where they've been doing it, and I think they've reached the limit, and that's where you start seeing these repaints. And I don't call it a gimmick, but you can only reissue a figure so many times when you're kind of reaching your limit.
Yeah.
You're seeing that automatically in the Thundercats and some of the turtle stuff, where you got to take a break from it because you can only buy so much of the same fig. Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Super 7's kind of smart with the way they're releasing these is that they're putting on pre-order, but they're really made to order. They're not putting out, they're not going to overproduce ones that are not going to sell. So,
well, yeah, that might come with the premium because a lot of times, like when you create a sculpt, your MLQ is somewhere between like.
Well, that's the beauty of this. I mean, they've put out like this a new Jaga.
Right. Yeah.
This color version is based on the original, Mattel version that was put out in the 80s or whatever, versus what was on the screen.
Yeah, if it's kind of like a repaint, I think they should kind of do like these kind of fan kind of investing, where if you want one, you might pay a little premium, but maybe you have one of 500 or 2,000 or 3,000 where that's considered a pretty low run.
Yeah, and then I like how they're some of the variants, like for Tigra, they made the invisible version where it's still the same sculpt. They're just using a clear PVC.
Yeah.
And then Chitara is when she's in her fast speed mode. That paint mode looks really cool, really pops. It's going to really pop on a photo. I don't know if her eyes glow or not, but that's a cool feature if they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and
yeah, I agree. If you take it to the next level and instead of doing like a glow in the dark repaint, you're doing these LED lights, but you still have the integrity of the sculpt, it takes it to another level,
Oh, yeah.
So I think this interaction, and they're aware of like toy photography and the fact that people don't want to use filters, but if you can have these light up functions, at least you feel like you're getting something different and you don't feel like you're, getting taken to the bank again.
It's really where I think the hobby of toy photography has raised the level of the production and the quality, where now, we are the promoters and these brands are like, wow, look at this awesome photo. If we make these and do a little bit extra, they're going to take more photos of our stuff and they're going to get our brand out there a little bit better. And, all it does is make the whole community a little better as far as quality, in my opinion. That's just kind of what I've seen over the last couple of years, because I mean, I can remember back in the beginnings of Instagram, I had no idea what toy photography was. I had never even done it, and thought, hey, I can just use my cell phone to take a photo of this action figure in a pose that I've never done before and reach 100 people. Wow, that's pretty interesting. And then I started noticing, I mean, wow, there's guys that they are so committed to this. It's almost like an art, art craft, and they're so good at it. And you just learn over the years and practice. And then eventually you start getting the recognition of the companies that actually make the products. I mean, I can remember the first time Mezco liked one of my photos and I was like, holy shit. They're seeing me. Yeah. And that just tells you they know and they're aware and they want to make their products where they appeal to us as collectors, and they want them to look good in these photos because it's just free promo for them. And it sells more. How many times have you bought a figure just because you saw the way somebody posed it and put it in a picture? I am so guilty of that.
It drives the impulse. And you also don't want to miss that opportunity because the chances of it getting reissued from that version is pretty slim because they're moving
Oh
on.
yeah.
Things,
Oh
so.
yeah. So moving on from that, I think we were all on the Bat Force review episode of the Flash movie, and it's just a matter of time before all of that merchandise and figures and collectibles start hitting the shelves, and they're already hitting the orders. But this is one that recently dropped, and I was super excited to see this. It's the SH Figure Arts Michael Keaton Batman. This thing actually looks a lot better than the 89 version.
For sure. Yeah, because I think, now that I'm looking at it, maybe the rights have changed, but this legitimately looks like Keaton. It doesn't look like someone cosplaying him at a birthday party. Like, it legitimately looks right out of the movie.
Well,
he must have eased up on the rights because that is definitely the mannerisms and the face expressions. That's Keaton,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
clearly that was the case because now that I'm thinking about it, McFarlane did the Unmasked, and not that it was the best version of Keaton, but it was a likeness of Keaton. So
Yeah.
maybe he eased up in his later years,
Well, also the design of the suit, I think, fits a little better than the 89 version, because the 89 version was supposed to look like a man wearing a skin tight suit with the muscles and all that stuff, and this actually looks more like an armored suit.
Right. Yeah, it's a great looking suit. My only gripe is I'm kind of questioning just like why they picked that fat. It looks like they used like a suede cape.
Yeah, the cape's gonna go. We're gonna replace that cape.
Yeah. And the
No
thing
doubt.
is, I know not a lot of people bought the 89, but you can I'm sure that one comes with multiple head sculpts, and I'm sure you can just pop his head off and just take that cape right off and just swap it out.
Yeah, it comes with this unmasked head, which it's not the greatest likeness.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm ever going to be using it. So.
Yeah,
hey, you know what? There's another civilian head for you.
But again, I mean, this kind of goes back to my,
Listen, man, Keaton had to approve this, so I don't know what's going on.
And this is a promo, so it may even be better by the time it comes out. But I think this is all a must-have for us. I mean, one, it looks like a solid figure. I think even the people that bought the 89 figure said that it's a solid figure. I mean, that figure, its issues were really the face and the head sculpt and the weird eyes. It had these weird eyes. But if you put it in the certain lighting and certain angles where you mask the eyes, it looked great. I saw some great photos using it.
Yeah, and the articulation is great. I don't think there's no other company outside of Mayfex that could probably be toe to toe with SH Figure Arts because they just have way more points of articulation. So at least if you're spending that extra money, you know that you're going to get an exquisite pose out of them. And like you said, don't focus on the facial features, but focus on the wired capes. And outside of that, as much as we know Tom didn't like it, but everything else, it really was not a bad figure overall. So I think the other one will be worth getting without questioning.
Yeah, and I think this is just the first of many that are about to come out. So that's one that's on the way. You can pre-order that now. There's a lot of retail sites that have that already available to pre-order, or you can wait and see what comes down the road. I mean, I'm sure Mayfex is probably, they're usually a year or two behind, but you know that they're gonna cash in on this. Probably Mezco will do one too.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm looking at my 89 right now, and again, the face is a little questionable, but the articulation and I mean, it feels it feels a little plasticky, but everything else, the cape is great. It's still a good. I mean, his articulation is just way
Wow,
above.
look at that.
Like
An 89 Batman that you can actually move his hips and legs.
Yeah, no rubber suit is stopping this guy. I'll tell you that.
Golly. Wow.
But yeah, it's great. I think people need to show some more love to SH Figure Arts and give it a try. You can get that ab crunch. You get that just these really exaggerated poses. Easy. You're not even fighting. Like we got the Mezco version, and people were like, "I'm afraid to just turn mine because I feel like there's a exoskeleton that's gonna rip through that rubber." It's like I'm afraid to touch mine. I'm kind of just displaying mine for now until I get into the groove of it. But
I'm already seeing people where
I saw it on Facebook
their
today,
suits are just falling apart already.
Yeah,
ripping,
and they're not even getting posed.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah. What else in the world of DC has kind of hit the shelves? Steve, you got something new today you want to talk about?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got the. Luckily, I got lucky. Was it Empire Toy Shop? I was able to get the last Mr. Freeze Mezco.
Okay.
So yeah, I slept on it.
To the club, buddy.
Yeah, I slept on it, and I was like, you know what, this is my other chance to get it, and yeah, it's an interesting figure. I think I opened it up. The fabrication is interesting. The colors are definitely more modern, but I think the thing that's kind of questioning me is just the pleating and the fabric choice. Doesn't scream Mr. Freeze to me. Like, to me, this is almost, it's looking like it's a mashup of Batman 66 with Greg Capullo style Mr. Freeze. So, but again, that's what Mezco does. They take these liberties to kind of mash up their own, they create their own shit, which is, I think is fine. This is not offensive.
No.
I like him kind of without the helmet, because I think
that's how I've had mine displayed without the helmet.
I'm putting him on, and it looks like he's looking through a Coke bottle, and it's just not. It's like it has Coke. It's just his head is just looking like a funhouse mirror. So I'd like to kind of just maybe just pose him in this. I guess he would be in his Arctic chamber when he's like this, but it's still a cool fig. There's a lot of Grumps as a Mr. Freeze fan. What do you think about all this detail in the back? Like, it's kind of abstract and weird. Like, part of me wants to take this off. Like, I feel like it's very just back heavy for some reason.
What is this? Like, I like it, like the flock snow feature.
Yes.
I like.
Oh yeah.
But,
okay.
To your point, I don't need all of this. It would have been fine with one tank in the middle with a flock feature on it. I didn't need the light up feature. I guess you guys can't see it. My light is too bright, but
lights up.
And then this, I think you mentioned the tailoring, but it really hinders this long crotch area. Really hinders the articulation.
Yeah, that's extra fabric. Mine didn't light up. Do I have to do some special?
You got to put the batteries in.
Oh,
that's a pain in the ass.
That is a pain in the ass. And the gun, you have to put batteries in the gun.
Batteries not included.
I'm sure he's double knees and double elbows, but you can't. You're not going to get better than that, really, unless you force it.
His legs have limited articulation, that's for sure. But
it's not because of the figure; it's because of the
fabric.
Yeah,
but I don't need him to be that dynamic. I mean,
he's not a mobile guy. He's almost like I see him. I'm thinking about like the Arkham game, where he's kind of like a Frankenstein. His mobility, he's very slow. You're not really seeing him very agile in this version because he's got a lot of equipment on him. But I'm glad I got it. You know, I like the color blue of him. The expression
The
is
skin
cool.
color. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is to me. This feels right. But I just don't like that it's so back heavy. To me, I wish I could just snap this off.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's the best Mr. Freeze in this scale, despite some limitations.
yeah, and like usually my first reservation with Mezco is like, man, he's not tall enough. But when he's in your hands, you feel like you have a pretty tall
Yeah.
enough figure.
Mm-hmm.
Could always be a little taller, but you know, this is probably 6.5 in height, and it feels right.
Yeah.
So what would you give him a rating out of 10 popsicles?
I would say 7.
7?
Popsicle. Yeah.
That's strong.
I mean, that ice gun that he comes with is pretty. I mean, there's a lot of detail in this. You know,
yeah, there's a lot of sculpting and engineering. I mean, even the
for sure.
even the gun lights up. You know,
this was done really nicely. I don't know about the flocking. To me, I see white flocking. I'm thinking this is gonna get dirty. You know, but this is cool. It's.
I like the fabric choice for the suit, though. That's interesting.
Yeah,
it feels like it would be insulated. You know.
Yeah, that is true. It has a tech feel to it. But like you said, it's limiting his mobility. It's because it's this like faux leather matched up with kind of like a pleating, a suede, you know, a flock pleating. So still cool. You know, I think this is a solid aesthetic. Like you said, this might be the best Mr. Freeze you can get.
Comes with some cool ice accessories. You know, if you want to put him up against Batman or whoever. I used the Nautilus crew as goons and used a couple of ice features.
That's a great use for them.
Yeah, I saw that shot on the Facebook group. That looked great.
I have a slightly different Mr. Freeze game here.
Say what?
I said you made him look really pissed off.
Oh yeah, that's cool. McFarlane
Captain Cool.
No, that's Freeze.
Oh, it is Freeze.
Yeah, this is
from
Freeze.
Page Busters or something like that.
Page Punchers.
Page Punchers.
Really? Okay. Because they did do a Captain Cold, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's something different.
To me, this looks like in my little world here on my desk. This is not Mr. Freeze. This is like
he looks like a goon. He's like an army guy.
So you could army build it, or you could have it like this is the big muscle that he drags in. It looks nothing like Mr. Freeze, so you could have the two of them in the same shot.
Right.
And it's it doesn't look like the same character.
If I were to get that, I would have to get 3 of them, and they're just goons. They're like mini bosses, you know, like.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How does that scale to the Mezco?
You got this guy. The
Arctic.
Yeah. So if you wanted to give Mr. Freeze some different, robots or goons or whatever, you're all good. You have a choice.
There's your repaint right there.
Yeah.
But they actually made that look pretty different, like compared to the other variations. So
yeah,
it's done well. But yeah, no, I just got that in the mail today, so I was pretty excited to get it. I think I got the last one that they were sold, so I don't think this is gonna get re-released. So
no, this is another 3-year figure.
3-year wait.
Jesus.
And I'll be honest, it's actually one of my favorite Mezcos.
Okay.
I agree with the points that you made. It's back heavy. He probably could have just used one canister. I don't need the whole display back here. But I do like the light up features, especially under the head.
Yeah.
And I like the head sculpt. I like the guns. And I agree that in this scale, it's probably the best Mr. Freeze. I do like that Arkham game version too, but this one has soft goods. So yeah, I agree. 7, 8 out of 10 popsicles is pretty fair for him. He's kind of limited, but in his motion, but I don't need him to be jumping around like other guys.
And he's also one of those rogues that just you don't have enough of Mr. Freeze, and where you want more of him. Like they just don't make enough.
Right.
They do 1 or 2 in every line, and that's it. And then
pretty much 1 per line. Yeah, like McFarlane recently did repaints, 1 or 2.
Right. That was kind of like the Kenner skin.
Yeah.
A lot,
They're like 1/10 scale, so
I'll probably end up getting the 66 one as well, just so you get another Mr. Freeze.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it does.
Again, limited articulation, but auto penmanship, you came out.
Yeah, it's such a fun line. You can't go wrong with the 66. Yeah. It's just funny.
Jesus, you and I got something recent. I know we talked about it on our last episode, but we each actually got our Monkey King in the mail.
Nice.
The Mythic Legions. Grumps is gonna get the next monkey repaint. He's telling us in the
repaint.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the first time I actually opened mine up because mine came last week, and now that I'm looking at it, I am very satisfied with the purchase, man.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I didn't even see that there was another head sculpt in the back, so you get 4 head sculpts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is a high rating right here.
I've been wanting to take him out and do some photos in like kind of the little woods area by my house, but it's only been 102 for the last week. But man, this thing, it's amazing. I bet you I could see them putting out kind of a reissue with maybe not as much or maybe different paints, kind of like how they did the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
They came out with the reissue because this guy seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
And I think this sculpt is so good. They can't just have this as a one-time offer. No way.
And I think compared to other companies, this might be one of the most highly collected and also just flawless packaging. Like this feels like this fits in a just out of a collection. It feels like a book. It's very sturdy. You slide it in. Not only that, but it has this magnetic base diorama.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Man, this is just high quality. Like this is just the box you're gonna just keep, and it snaps in very seamlessly. Just when you're wrapping it. Hold on, I have it up inside out, but there's magnets on the back of the box. You can just wrap it around. Real easy, really clean. The proportions are nice, and it's like a volume. Maybe this will become some kind of picture as you collect them.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me, they've got these other characters in the story on the back of the box. They've got a story of who the Monkey King is and how he came to be and his whole road to redemption. But they've also got these additional characters here and here. And I'm like looking at them going, okay, now this makes me want them too.
Gramps, I know you have 1 or 2 of the other figure. Was it Figura Obscura?
Yeah, I've got
Is
Krampus.
this packaging the same on those?
Kind of.
I don't think they're. I don't think they're.
They're not the same. Well, I mean, they have the same kind of design where they use magnets on the neck to kind of attach to the thing and then go around.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with the Headless Horseman.
Oh,
it's kind of like they have a backdrop diorama as part of the packaging.
Just the grade of just the cardboard and the stock, they're not skimping on quality.
No, it's like they keep
quality's like-
improving the quality.
yeah, for what you pay, let's say you paid like what $70 for this, you got your money's worth. It's a fairly low run. It's just highly detailed. It feels nice and sturdy. I have zero complaints about this.
Yeah.
So really dope.
It's
And like
beautiful looking
and
figure.
Gramps and I were talking in the last episode that this figure has so much crossover value, where you could match them with Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, like the movie,
Yeah.
the movie line. Anything. I mean, you can have him fight,
Yeah.
Batman, or be an ally to Batman, or just
He,
he just works. It's just one of these really cool.
these animal warriors of the kingdom.
Yeah.
You could throw it in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I passed on that, but not for lack of desire, just just funds or whatever. But it's a beautiful looking piece.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh man. Another line that I have been. Go ahead.
Can we stick to Mythic Legions?
Oh yeah,
Just
because
for a
we
second.
just got you addicted to those.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I've been getting this. This was, I guess, the main character, Alethea.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could see her better.
She's like the queen of vampires or
the
something.
queen of the vampires. So this little, I guess, subline or whatever. Yeah, I want to say I have one. I got like 5 figures from that line, from the Alethea, her brood or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really happy with them. I got this. I don't know what his name is or whatever. But he's a massive vampire.
Yeah.
This vampire horse. Gramps, I now own 3 of these horses. I own the fire horse. I don't know the fire horse's name. That black gray Boreas horse.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like my regular horse, and then this bat horse.
Dude,
I was telling some people I could stick a random Batman, and I have stick a random Batman on this horse, and it doesn't look out of place.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can put the Batman that laughs on there. You can put like literally anybody. You can put anybody, and it kind of just works.
Yeah, man.
I've been been really happy. I haven't gone too far down the rabbit hole, but I stick to this little subline, and yeah, I'm good.
That one that you got, I don't know his name, but he's the one that has the falcon.
Oh, which one is that?
He's the one that has the hood, the purple hood.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yes, there is.
That dude
Valak.
is Valak.
Yeah.
He's highly sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Just got this one recently. I forget the name of the site, so
that reminds me of the Masters of the Universe movie a little bit. You know,
he does look like Skeletor.
The makeup of Skeletor with the hood.
Yeah.
Because the line is very heavily influenced by Motu, Masters of the Universe.
This guy, I don't know what his name is. But...
Baron Voligar.
Baron Voligar.
Yeah.
Too. He had a first figure, kind of looked knightish or whatever, and this is his second, whatever. But I mean, this guy's better. Look at that shield.
Yeah, his shield is futuristic.
What's really cool about these Mythic Legions is that they're actually designed to be like interchangeable with almost any other Mythic Legions.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, take an arm from this dude, take an arm from that dude, and stick him in here. Take a head off this one and stick him on here.
Yeah, they encourage customization, whether it's like repaint or just mashing up pieces and just making up your own.
Yeah, not even that. They show off the customizations. They're like, here's what somebody made using all these pieces, and I mean, it just helps sell the brand. I mean,
somebody made. I don't know the dude's name on Instagram, but he made a Optimus Prime and a Megatron Mythic Legions, and they look amazing.
Wow.
Obviously, they don't transform or whatever. They're Mythic Legion figures, but still.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah.
What I love is that they sell supplemental packs for like just alternate heads.
Yeah.
And alternate weapons or alternate hands or stuff like that. I mean, it was because
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want with these figures because, you know, I want expressions out of my figures when they're doing fights. I don't want them to just be stoic face. I want them to, you know, that's why that Monkey King figure is so awesome. He comes with 4 heads and like 3 of them are like expressions, you know?
Yeah. And the paint jobs are like very in detail. But yeah, that's why there's so much hype around like these Mythic Legion shows, because a lot of times when you buy an exclusive figure, when you buy something, they'll throw like a cape and an extra sword in there.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. And you're just like, oh shit, okay, cool. That's the benefit of kind of having a just an independent company that's not stuck to licenses, because you don't have to follow the rules.
Now Grumps is going to go with you to the Legions Con.
I'm going for sure. I gotta buy the ticket. I'm going for sure.
Come back with 5 horses.
For sure.
Dude, I want that fire horse. I need that. I don't even know the character's name. I know.
We just call him Fire Horse.
It's just Fire Horse.
Fire Horse, man.
I want it.
Horses shouldn't have names like that. Just Fire Horse, Vampire Horse.
4 horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, these names are so in depth. Like I don't know anybody because they're all just like Latin names and
yeah.
And then the horses get to stay in the Barbie Dream House. They've got their own stable.
That's it. I gotta buy the Barbie stable. That's it.
Well, dude, I'm glad you got sucked into those too because
it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And you're right. This Alithia subset is very cool, and also it's another line that can go well with, vampires can go well with anything, man. You can have Blade fighting them. You can have Nosferatu joining up with them. You can
I didn't even think of Nosferatu. That's right.
Yeah. And and they've got more coming where I think they've got some Knights of the Templar coming out. I want to get maybe 1 or 2 of those guys.
The Cosmic Legions are just starting to hit. I didn't get any of the first wave. I think I got 2 figures from the second wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cosmic Legions are very nice as well.
I think with the amount that all these lines are coming out, I think it's just everyone is just kind of just picking and choosing. I think we're at the point where we can't be completionists anymore. There's just way too much out there. You just got to pick out what you really want.
Yeah.
It's just too fast. It's like we're running out of space.
Yeah.
You're really running out of space if you get that cat there.
A lot of us want to just, still be able to still live in our house.
That's true.
Hashtag Thunder Tank.
Hashtag Thunder Tank. Yeah. Whew. Big investment there. I wanted to talk about one other line that I've been waiting for so long, and they've actually started arriving, and I've got several, and they've got so much potential to come out with more. But it's the Hasbro Indiana Jones line, and that is a line and franchise that I'm just really happy about. The figures are really good quality. I mean, they're still kind of in the scale of like a Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe, but it's Indiana Jones. And another thing is they look so good just being civilians for other lines,
Yeah.
And what I'm really excited is this new wave that's coming out. One has the Templar Knight, So you can put him up against some of these Mythic Legends, but it's got also Sean Connery.
The Templar Knight looks so pissed off, like someone just annoyed him during lunch or something. He's like, "Hey, I'm just."
Yeah,
it looks good though. Like the articulation is good, and from what I'm seeing from the line, for the money, it's a good value. I don't think you're getting too much or too little. I think for $25, you get this really nice depiction and likeness of the movie reference.
Well, I mean,
I
got Short Round.
Like, he looks dope.
He looks good. He looks great. I can throw him up against, he looks like an orphan that Batman would save.
100%, yeah.
Who else did I get? I like how they come up. He can just be a civilian walking down the street for me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've always been wanting a Foggy Nelson for Daredevil that wears this suit with this little bow tie. Well, I can find a head swap and turn this into my Foggy Nelson.
Yeah.
And I've got some great accessories. I've built the Ark of the Covenant that's sitting in front of my desk. Just every one of these figures that comes out is really cool. They're interchangeable. I think I showed Grumps one time where I took the head off one guy. I think his name's Kazim. He comes in a pinstripe suit. Swapped out an old man's head. Boom. Mobster gang leader. Right there. So
I want to mash Indiana Jones with like Universal Monsters Mummy or something. Like he's got the flame in his hand. All of a sudden he looks a little deeper and there's a tomb in front of him.
That's a good idea.
He puts his hand out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So again, it's just one of those things where it just has so much crossover potential and mashup.
Yeah, and
the scales will be off, but you play with perspective and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure, and especially with get you some extreme set tomb diorama sets.
Right.
I've seen some great photos using they've got the Egyptian tomb set, then they've got kind of a ruins set. But yeah, definitely lots of potential there. Lots for fun.
I think you're excited too because there's no vehicle, so you got the confidence to where you can just jump in and you can open the door from Amazon and say, "Hey, I got a package."
Yeah,
and you know what? There's Indiana Jones shit. I got nothing to lose. It's like.
Well, the thing is, my one complaint is that they literally have already like 8 different versions of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
If he so much has a torn shirt, they've got that version. If he's wearing a tie, they got that version. If he's not wearing a shirt, they've got that version. They're making every version possible. They even get the old version from the Crystal Skull movie.
Yeah.
If I was going to say before, if McFarlane were to take over this license, he would legitimately sell you the ball for $80. He would just sell you the rolling ball and put it in a box, and it'll be like, "This is the ultimate ball, $79.99." And it'll be like, it'll be magnetic or some kind of rolling mechanism, and then he'll sell you the gray version for $125. But only Todd.
I got the white tuxedo version. That's the only one I got.
Yeah. He's, I think,
I was
a
thinking,
Target
like you
exclusive.
said, like a head swap, and that could be like Bruce Wayne at a.
There you go, dinner party, like Bruce Wayne. You got him right there.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's I was thinking to myself, obviously, like the new movie is pushing all the attention, but it's crazy that it didn't come out sooner because he has so much soft goods on him. Obviously, you're going to go into the next stage of what we're going to talk about. But he has got so much soft goods and accessories that come with him that people would just be excited just to get more and more of him.
Oh yeah, I mean
leather, whips, hats, like, you know.
Oh yeah, and I mean, perfect segue. I mean, just this last week, Mezco released put their on pre-order, and it looks great.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to get. I'm like, damn. I haven't really seen it in detail, but
comes with 4 head sculpts.
Jesus Christ! Plus you have Harrison Ford. Like, it's just a cool depiction of him.
Oh yeah, very cool, and it comes with more accessories. It comes with that fertility stone artifact that he's after at the very beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It comes with some whips. I don't know if the whips are wired or articulated, but you can find some articulated wired whips. I think I got one off that Gridiron website. But yeah,
eventually you're gonna have him pumping iron with Bruce.
I'm gonna have him in the cave. It's gonna be the bat and the hat, working out, man, doing some triceps and deadlifts.
Yeah, he's gonna be lifting the two the fertility things like this, just like they're kettlebells.
No, I'm gonna I want to have like a Star Wars crossover, you know, where he's on the search for the Han Solo frozen in carbonite artifact, that type of stuff. That'd be fun to do.
I think one of my buddies that does the animation for NECA did a mashup where he did Indy, and he like runs into the carbonated Han Solo.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the new movie?
No,
not yet. I want to brush up on the old stuff because it's been a while, and that's
you
like
don't have to.
Yeah, just jump in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You know what he does. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same tropes, but it's just once it gets going, it's pretty much nonstop action.
Every movie is like its own standalone thing anyway. It's just like another chapter in the story. So
here's what's interesting is that Temple of Doom is actually in a chronological timeline, a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did you know that?
I just learned that recently. Yeah,
I didn't know that until this year.
Yeah. No, me too.
So I guess Lucas was doing the Tarantino before Tarantino, mashing up, going back and forth. You know, like
yeah, which struck me as a really odd way of doing that, but I don't know. That's just the way it happened. But no, I like the new movie, and in the very beginning, it's insanely amazing how they de-age him with artificial intelligence, computer graphic. It's him doing the acting, but they de-age his face. I mean,
yeah, they're doing like a mapping technology where they have this grid on his face, and then they just
they've got so much footage of him over the years, you know, even probably using Star Wars footage, and they're able to literally make him, you know, 35 years old again. And it's scary, but it's done really well. It's the complete opposite of the CGI in The Flash. You know, it shows, okay, if you put it in the right hands, it can look good. But, you know, I get it with The Flash, you know, after hearing some more information and interviews with the director, they're like, when things are in the Speed Force, they're going to look a little distorted and a little wonky and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I thought the new Indiana Jones movie was really fun.
Nice. Yeah, I have it on my radar.
Yeah, make sure you go see it.
Gramps approved.
Gramps approved. Mrs. Gramps approved. That's, I mean, she's the harshest critic out there. So,
were we missing any other? I think we covered this. That was almost like a recap of the past week or so with the new reveals.
Yeah, I think we also talked about something, maybe a new segment called the bargain bin.
Yeah.
Things that we kind of fell into or found on sale. Grumps, what'd you find in the bargain bin this week?
A couple of Marvel Legends. Sorry, just looking for the boxes.
He's digging right into the bargain bin right there.
Got Molecule. Yeah. Molecule Man came in today.
Yeah. I know nothing about Molecule Man. What?
He's a Avengers villain, Fantastic Four villain.
Okay.
Kirby creation or whatever.
Okay.
$12 on Amazon, so I grabbed it.
Yeah.
This guy, Vulcan.
Oh yeah.
He's the new base body for a lot of figures, for Cyclops, for Black Panther. He's it's called the Vulcan body. It was $8 on Amazon. I grabbed it.
What makes it so special versus their old base body?
I think the improved sculpt in terms of the musculature, the butterfly joints are improved.
He's just a super ripped superhero-esque.
Yeah.
He's cool. That's a good fig.
Whatever. I mean, the only one I have nearby is Cyclops that uses that body, so it fits a character like Cyclops. And I don't think they're using it for Spider-Man, but I know they're using it pretty frequently now.
Okay.
What else did I grab out of the bargain? That was it. I do know. I saw yesterday these guys, Tracksuit Mafia guys, are hitting clearance at Target for $12.
Where are they from?
The Hawkeye TV show.
They're from the Hawkeye TV
Marvel
show.
Legends. I'm sorry, Marvel.
And they're really cool.
Legends.
Wow.
Because look, they
I like
come
these
with
guys a lot.
Yeah. They come with
wow.
Yeah.
So,
I got like
Gramps probably has 7 or 8.
I've got 2.
I would if I was in the store and they're on clearance, I would buy 6 out the gate.
Yeah. They're supposed to be the gang that Wilson Fisk hires to do things. They're kind of like his little foot soldiers.
And what are they called? They're called
Tracksuit Mafia.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. And if those are hitting clearance, then may have to pick up some more of those.
Yeah, because you could do a whole gang with these,
Oh yeah.
ski mask guys, whatever. Or paint the suits. It's probably easy paint, right?
Dude, they're going to come out with like a blue suit version. Yeah. They are.
I mean, those are perfect Joker goons that you can set up with the Joker from the Nolan.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Bank heist,
Anybody, yeah. They're really cool. You could have Indiana Jones punch out a few.
Yeah, that's it for me though in terms of the cheapies.
I found a cool bargain bin sale that I didn't expect this guy to be on clearance. And again, it's Marvel Legends. I don't know if it's just because they're overstocked and oversaturated, but I found that new Captain America.
Oh, nice.
This is a really cool Captain America. Yeah. It's kind of a more modern look.
It's very stocky looking, but that shield looks great.
Yeah, and I mean, I've never liked the pirate boots look.
Okay.
I always thought that was just why would a superhero have pirate boots? So I like that these boots are more kind of a military boot looking. Yeah, very cool. So he was $12.
That was on Amazon?
No, that was just in Target.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me scroll the shelves tomorrow.
Do it. Do it. You'll probably find Guardians of the Galaxy there too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, my Target has the recent X-Men wave stock.
You know, not that I collected, but within the first like 2 weeks, one of the things that I've noticed that tanked quickly was the Spider-Verse figures. Quick.
Yeah.
Like, there's just too many tertiary characters that kids are not aware of, and most of the kids haven't seen the movie because it's really long, and when they walk around, they're not buying them. So it's like, I literally saw the movie, and like 2 or 3 days in Target after, those figures were on clearance when the movie came out.
Wow.
Not a good sign, you know.
No.
So,
like, which one specifically? I probably
a couple of the girls, that other, you know, I saw the movie once. That abstract Spider-Man that's like he's white, but he's got like black spots. I think. I don't know if he was on clearance.
The Spot, the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He may have been, but then there was another girl.
Jessica Drew.
Yeah, it wasn't Gwen. It was the other girl. I think she was immediately on clearance, and they just had a ton of it. It was just stocking the shelves.
Yeah.
And we were talking pre-show. We were talking pre-show with, like, in my Target, I'm noticing that it's a little desolate, but a lot of the Joes are hitting clearance. There's no hunt for the Joes anymore right now. You know, like the newer modern versions, I think, are hitting clearance quick as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any on clearance in my stores. I've just seen, I've seen the ones on the shelves be there every time, and it's just kind of like the normal
the movie
Green Beret guy,
right?
You know,
Falcon.
Falcon, yeah. He's there's nothing special about him to really move him off the shelf. He just looks like an army guy, versus like the Arctic Bats or, you know, Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes and stuff like that. He just looks like a normal army guy. So, but Steve, did you get anything off the bargain bin recently, or?
No, that was, I think, you know, my two main ones, you know, that I was telling you about was just the Multi-King and also the Freeze. I'm glad I jumped on it last second because I felt like I was gonna have some serious FOMO not getting him.
I forgot, Gramps. Hold on.
What you got?
Agent Jimmy Woo.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Off the bargain bin.
That's a solid pickup.
And I have a head sculpt coming in from my friend Artman Customs on Instagram, Nico Hodge. I have a Commissioner Jim Gordon head sculpt with white hair.
Oh.
So I'm gonna do an immediate head swap, and
I mean,
myself a Jim Gordon.
You know, yeah, like he's like the perfect someone in the background, just like a Casino of Crime, where he's just like a rookie cop or something, you know, next to Gordon. Maybe Gordon's, you know, screaming inside the, you know, the remote, and this guy in the background, like distressed, you know.
I could take this head sculpt and put it on another suited body, you know, Marvel Legends suited body, and, you know, have an extra cop or something in the background.
I feel like I should have got like 3 of those. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's just you can even just take the badge off and he's just a regular civilian walking down the street, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Put a donut in his hand.
There you go.
He's on his break, you know, he's on his third donut of the day.
Very cool. Well, that puts us a little bit over an hour. I think that's a good place to put a pin on this one.
Yeah, I like the whole I think the whole bargain hunting is it makes it fun because like we were buying things at impulse and premium, but when we're walking the shelves, we feel a little better about ourselves if we grab 3. We get to strike it to the man once in a while, or we get to army build and get a good deal, and that's what it's all about. Consumer wise, you don't want to hit that register thinking that you get killed all the time. Once in a while, you want to feel like you have a dub. A couple of points on the board where for a few bucks, hey, I can grab these extra ones, and where maybe these were $27, and all of a sudden they're like $9, and you're like, all right, cool. You feel good about a purchase. Once in a while, it's nice to win a little bit.
Oh, and it definitely shows you how much they inflate these.
Mm-hmm. But I think toys they take a long time to make. There's a process, and it's all by committee. There's not one person that does everything. There's a concept artist, there's a sculptor, there's someone that paints it, so it goes through the assembly line. So I could see and appreciate why they ask for $25, $30. You're paying a licensor, you're getting it done overseas, getting it shipped. So I can't expect a toy to be $8 all the time. Like I'm cool with spending more as long as you're getting more. Like it's got to be a good ROI to where you as a consumer feel like, hey, you're excited about this because you recognize the soft goods and the articulation, and that you waited 3 years and it was worth it. It's quickly deflated when it doesn't happen, and they take your money up front. That's
89 Batman.
Yeah, and then when the rubber hits the road and you feel these rubber cracks, and you're like, how long have people waited? So
right.
It's nice to
talk
feel
about this real quick. These Street Fighter figures.
Yeah, that guy looks intense. Is that who's doing them? Jada Toys, or right?
Jada Toys, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of up and coming, right? They're doing some really cool
Street Fighter 1/12 scale, $25.
Yeah, they're slowly creeping into the target market where they're doing some really cool Street Fighter stuff, and obviously, like the packaging is compelling, right? It's like
great articulation. No soft goods, but still.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if they do some other licenses. I think they have the video game anime
Mega Man.
Yeah, they're the video game anime people, and that might be a good thing because no one else is really doing that as much. So
they've been doing cars like Batmobiles. I don't know what is that 1/24 scale?
Yeah,
Batmobiles.
Oh yeah,
the movie. They have some movie licenses and
yeah,
stuff
they're cool.
Like that. Yeah.
I think in a year you'll have a different conversation. I think they're gonna have a lot more development, and they'll be in the market a lot more. So it'll be interesting.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining and watching us. As always, if you could, we'd appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining.
Happy birthday, Grumps.
Happy birthday, Grumps.